Let me pose a question to you. On one hand, $1 million. Free, no strings attached, $1 million, cold, hard cash.
This is an excellent start.
On the other hand, no responsibilities, a house on the beach, and all your expenses paid for the rest of your life. No extra money, though. Your ideal beach, retirement life, no problems, just a easy living. On the other hand, just $1 million in cold hard cash. Which option you choosing?
On the beach option, did you say I can't earn any additional income?
Nope. You have enough to provide for your basic necessities, food, living, etc. You know,
Not a lavish lifestyle, but a lifestyle.
a comfortable, nice beach lifestyle.
Or $1 million cash.
Or $1 million cold hard cash.
$1 million.
Really?
100%.
All right, why?
I believe with that jump start of that $1 million, I can easily get there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Easy.
the reason I ask, and I think the answer to your question is a perfect start to this, is what are people really after? And by what I mean is, what makes them truly happy? Because I just offered you, really, the life. I mean, you had it all. You had no expenses, no problems, no responsibilities, life on the beach.
Which I love the beach.
Which, to most people, that's the dream. And you were like, nah, man, I want money. So, explain your decision to the audience why you prefer money over happiness.
So, I think the beach example there, which is phenomenal, that example feels a little temporary for me.
But it's permanent.
It is permanent, but a lot of people's dream would be to go onto the beach every day, 8 to 10 hours a day, drinking mimosas. You could only do that for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and then you're miserable.
Okay, I've heard this argument before, but let me ask you this. Right now, in your life, are you chasing the $1 million, or are you just chasing comfortability? Truly think about that. Truly think about it. What are you after? Right now, what's your biggest thing that you're trying to accomplish or hurdle you're trying to get over? I would be willing to bet the things you're truly working to overcome or accomplish are things that make your life a little less difficult and a little more comfortable. And I don't mean that as in everyone just wants comfort, but are you chasing extreme success or are you chasing satisfaction?
I think there's a line here. A line. And I think it's more of one of these situations.
Okay.
Where once you've hit the level where your basic necessities are met, and maybe that plus 10 to 20%.
Okay.
You're not concerned if you get a flat tire. You don't have a tremendous amount of debt that's killing you. You're able to buy a few presents acceptably at Christmas and maybe a vacation once a year or every other.
Okay.
Once you hit that level, that's your comfort. That's where most people, on the whole, are comfortable. My experience with people is that usually is an income range between 65 and 85 grand. Is usually where they begin to hit that.
Okay.
Household income, situationally dependent. But in our area, that's usually what I see them to hit, 70, 85. But then there's those who money is just a game.
Okay.
where the $1 million you offered earlier, which I cannot wait to cash that check. That was, hey, I want to propel you forward to the next phase, which is, what are you passionate about? Because I want to be able to help people. And one way you can help people, so I think of a guy who helped me in the past. A buddy of mine gave me a job. And not because he was in this area of nice comfort, but because he was still aiming for more. And I loved that. And that's what I think that represents to me, that dollar figure, as opposed to the house on the beach. And the item with that was the caveat: you can't earn any more money.
Okay. To make this fair, though, let's add a caveat to the other side.
Okay.
On this side, you can never stop working. Okay.
I'll take the same deal.
You'd still take the same deal.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Because I view work on the whole as quite the blessing.
Okay.
I can't actually just sit around eating bonbons or Cheetos, even though it appears I've done that many times, and just watching television. You have to be pursuing something with your heart. And the moment you tie anything financially to that, that's a job.
Okay. But what about, okay. So it seemed, and this is why I asked this question, okay? Because on one hand, you have a set of people who success, and this is very loose, I'm going to be loose with these terms, but success and career and etc. are their drive. But then you have, on the other hand, a group of people who money and success are not the drive, but rather enjoying the journey.
I think there's a balance here.
I think this is what drives my question, and the reason why. Because if you were to offer me the same question, I'm not sure I would take the $1 million. And here's why. Because I would rather a life that, and I'm going to caveat this, but a life that I can enjoy and spend with the people I care about, and not have to worry about making that extra dollar or getting that extra sale or beating my competition out on a bid or whatever, where I have what I need to be comfortable and provide for my family, and that's enough for me. The rest of it, I'm okay. The importance to me is spending that time with the people I care about. Where on the other hand, you have a group of people who that's important to them, but they're always after that next dollar, that next step in the job, that next success, result, etc. That's where I'm trying to take these two. What truly matters to you? Is it the career and the money, or is it the journey, the quality time, and the people you care about?
I want to change this a little bit.
Okay.
So let's say, goes a little more, not hypothetical. You're not asking me now.
No.
You're actually offering your son this option at, we'll call him 30 years old.
Okay.
Son, you can either have $1 million cash today, or you have to go live in this beach house. I'll provide you a livable salary just to take care of your needs. You're never allowed to invest the money or go earn another dime without me as part of this deal. But in exchange, you get a beachfront property for life. Which one do you want your son to take?
It would depend on where my son was in the point of his life.
30 years old.
I understand, but there's a difference between where someone can be at in the stage of their life at 30 years old. If my son is 30 years old with a wife and 3 kids and plenty of, he's got good friends around him. He's got, I'm still around, you know. I would be fine if my son took this option and invested his time in other people and his family than the money. But if my son is single and just living it up, I would rather, or, you know, I guess in a way, if he's lazy, I would rather see him take the $1 million, lose it, and then have the self-realization that he just wasted the biggest opportunity in his life, than just see him rot around for the next 50 years of his life.
Would it be better or worse for his kids? Because now, not only are you a father, you're now a grandfather. So
Yeah.
it's been a very exciting 3 minutes here.
A lot has happened.
Would it be better for his kids to see dad work, or just to always know dad's at home?
If dad is spending the time to invest in something, it doesn't have to be more money, but if he's investing in the people around him, I think that's what matters. Because it's not a matter of do something or do nothing.
See, when I hear that, the beach question, it kind of feels like that to me.
Well, maybe we should rephrase the question then, because maybe that wasn't a good question to lead with. But for me, the root of this discussion, the root of the question is, what is more important to people? Is it money and success? And or I guess what makes people truly happy?
So,
and maybe now that we've kind of flushed this out a little bit, maybe we restart with a better understanding of the topic. But what I want to discuss is what truly makes people happy.
So as a guy, I think what makes us happy is seeing forward progress in virtually any area of our life. Could be the relationships, could be the work, could be the job, could be the gym, could be the truck, but some form of forward progress. I believe that's actually where we find our happiness.
Interesting.
What's the counter argument to that?
Well, I think especially men by design are designed to do something. We cannot just sit around, or the vast majority of us will grow dull or bored. But the alternative to that is what truly makes that person happy. Because I think if you were to ask most people, the success in the job or the gym or the truck or the promotion or whatever, if you take away the people they care about and you put them in a situation where they're all alone,
Yep.
I think they very quickly become bored.
Yeah, the reason behind why they're trying to accomplish the item is gone.
Right. Their meaning is the people they care about. Their purpose is the people they care about. So what makes them happy is accomplishing those items, whatever those items are, for the people they care about. Because, and I guess that's the root of the question, is what truly makes people happy? Is it actually accomplishing XYZ item? Getting this success, this result, this milestone? Or is it providing for and meeting the needs and proving satisfactory for the people that they care about?
I think we're talking two sides of the same coin here.
Maybe we are.
Because providing for your family,
Mm-hmm.
Going to work, working your job, getting the check. That other side of that coin is I get up and go to work for XYZ person. Usually not yourself. Sometimes, definitely you. Other times, for your family. And the forward progress is the fact that you got another week to take care of your family.
I'm not happy with where this is going. We're not accomplishing what I was trying to get at with this question.
Okay.
Let me phrase to you the situation I was in when I asked you the question, and then maybe we can better understand how we want to discuss the topic.
Okay.
When I messaged you the other night, I had just gotten home from spending some time at the golf simulator with my best friend.
Nice.
Okay?
Fun stuff.
After that enjoyable interaction, it got me thinking about what truly makes me happy. And furthermore, what makes people or men in general truly happy. Because I would have paid a large sum in hindsight for that time because it meant a lot to me. And it was literally as simple as just hanging out and swinging some golf clubs at 11:30 at night on a Friday. Why is that so much more fulfilling than getting a pay raise or whatever else the world might consider happiness? To me, what truly makes people happy? That's the question I have today, is what truly makes people really, truthfully happy? Is it money? Is it success? Is it a lot of friends? Is it quality time with the people you care about? Because on that Friday night, to me, being truly happy is just, I guess in a way, connecting with and spending good time, quality time, investing in the people that you care about. So, how about you? What makes you happy? And what do you think makes other people happy? What truly brings people not just surface level happiness, but rather true joy? What do you think?
I think you really hit the nail on the head with how you were describing the fact that when you were swinging that club, you would, in hindsight, you would have paid double or triple easily for the fun, joy you were experiencing with a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Those relationships, fighting to maintain, developing, and keeping those relationships, I think that is one of the major items of why people can find joy. Because you're going to have those down times with that buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're not swinging clubs. Maybe you're swinging hammers. It's still in that moment, there can be joy. Maybe not as much fun, but still joy.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something about that relationship you have with that buddy. This is probably not a 6-month friendship you have.
No. Nope.
This is probably maybe even multi-decade even.
It's quite some time.
Mm-hmm. And I think that right there, that pursuit of getting those relationships, and that's meaningful, I would venture to say, if we were to invite him in,
Mm-hmm.
he'd probably say, "Oh, I had a great time, and I care about my buddy."
Mm-hmm.
You guys care about each other.
Yep.
Finding people who care and love you, that's it. That right there, I think, is one of the. It's hard to. You can't quantify it really,
No.
and it's not that you need like 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You need a handful, really one, maybe 3 if you're lucky, like truly blessed. I mean, Jesus had 12 and one, did some bad stuff. So I think 12 is the absolute limit. Maybe 11
is the max. That's it.
You get 12, one of them's doing something. All right. But I think those relationships there, that is precious. There's almost nothing you wouldn't do to maintain that friendship.
So, why? Why is that like that? Let me ask you that. Mm-hmm. And how does that correlate to people's everyday life in search of happiness?
So I think happiness, and maybe it's where we're going to get slightly in the weeds for a moment. Happiness should never be the goal.
True.
I believe happiness, as I've been taught it, is a byproduct of getting closer toward your goal. Now, the goal, when we say goal, we almost instantly think of money, job, promotion, maybe something physical like a lifting. But there's another goal that we very much never bring up, and it's good friendships.
What if rather than happiness, we use the word fulfillment?
Okay.
Because in that moment, I would argue that's rather than happiness, but that's what I would call it, mm-hmm. joy or fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. You're at full contentment.
You could have
peace.
Parked my hind in there for the next 2 weeks, and I'd have been happy. But and I would have traded that over a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Thinking out what's the best way to phrase this? Why do some people chase success and money when that is available for free? And for free, obviously, there's an investment there. But why do some people chase money and success? And why do some people invest in those situationships and those relationships? And why do some people view the success and the money as their fulfillment? And why should we prioritize one versus the other?
I think some of that is due to lack of focus or caught up in a moment.
Okay.
So as someone gets older, they naturally choose a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just you need something to do. You can't just sit on the couch eating bonbons and Cheetos all day. Even though it appears I've done that more than once. Working
He
on
has
it.
a college degree in sides.
Always ask for French fries without salt, and then ask for a salt packet after. Don't do that. The workers will hate you. But you do get fresh fries. That being said,
Trolling people is the ultimate form of happiness.
mm-hmm. Oh, if you ever, tell someone to pull on a push door, that's a beautiful moment right there.
Okay, so that's a really good point. So those little moments that we just described that make you laugh and kind of just give you that little boost of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's real right there.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you see so many people chasing money and success and the promotion and the job and everything else that comes with that? Why do so many people focus on that? And when there's so many other forms of better fulfillment. But at the same time, obviously, you don't want to negate the benefit of a successful career. Where's the line there of I'm looking for fulfillment and joy and happiness in just everyday life, and I want to be successful and I want to make a lot of money? I think that's the question. Where's the line between success and money and everyday happiness?
I would say for the individual, this is kind of an exercise each of us individually should do. And it's to close your eyes. What would you like your ideal day to look like? A true dream of a day.
See, and that's where I go back to the day on the beach. Because everybody, I bet that scenario pops in a lot of people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt anybody pops in their heads a promotion. But yet that's what you see people chase on a day-to-day basis.
So there's multi steps here. The first step, get the image in your mind. Okay, we'll use that. We'll leave the beach house on the table here. Mm-hmm. They then say, subconsciously, or for a brief moment to themselves, hey, if I go to work, I'll get that. Except they never actually checked for one time if that job, that career, that plan would ever actually get them what they wanted. They just have this general desire to do something, to have a beach house or drive a $100,000 car, and they never ever once make a plan to actually get it. They just start walking down a road, and the road is never going to get them there. Some, yes, but for a lot, they never actually planned this. They thought that would be cool, and that was actually the end of their entire discussion. That's only because that's one I see relatively frequently in my line of work.
So, I'm almost hearing you say that accomplishing realistic goals could be a form of happiness, of fulfillment. Setting and accomplishing a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously everybody knows to some degree is the case. We've all been there. We've all done that. Mm-hmm. It feels good. So what brings long-term happiness and fulfillment?
I would say as a man, where I go you must have a goal. And again, I've got to preface this. It's okay if you're not here yet. But as a guy, once you've accomplished, your basics, you got your standard stuff handled. You're not going to starve, and you're probably going to be okay. Just once you've got that accomplished,
mm-hmm.
I believe as guys we need something bigger than us to fight for.
Okay.
The long term, the real long term. If you're religious at all, the goal so big you might need some divine help.
Okay.
And any step toward that would bring joy, would bring long-term joy. Now that could be different sections of your life. Mm-hmm. You can have the section of, my wildest dream section, and any step toward that'd be great. All right, and maybe you'll not get to see the end of that one. That's okay.
Okay.
But maybe it's go back to the relationship. What is my next step that I can help see someone else grow in an area? Like, either your kid catching his first ball. That's a big moment for a dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that's a moment that he cannot have until he has the kid. The kid first learns to walk. That's a big moment for the dad, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding what is that next moment that you can get to experience or help someone else experience. So I'll pick on my dad for a moment here. One really great lesson he taught me growing up is that every year is going to be better than the previous year. And what he meant by that is there's something going on this year that he was not truly capable of experiencing the previous year. And he looks forward to that. And for me, that's really helpful because it means, oh, there is something that is going to happen this year that couldn't have happened last year. Now, does that mean that there's every year a perfect upline? No. You're going to you may have a divot. But it does mean that the best years were not your high school years.
Right.
The best years were not your college years. The best years are tomorrow. But really, the best year is today. Because you get to work toward that. Have you seen the picture? And it's old school, it's black and white, and it's called Moments Before Happiness. And it's a dad, and he's holding a puppy behind his back. And in front of him is this little kid just looking up,
right?
Starstruck at dad, doesn't know what's about to happen. And we all know as the audience what's about to happen and the pure joy that this little kid is going to have. But before that kid receives that pure joy, that dad has the pure joy.
Yeah.
He knows. He's holding it. He's like, I can't wait to do this.
So as you're saying this, I'm pondering this in my mind, and I wonder if kind of what we're circling here is that what seems to show through is that happiness or fulfillment or whatever you want to call it, joy, contentment, can be found in knowing where you're at, having a plan for where you want to be, and taking steps to get there, but understanding where you are and being okay with where you are.
Yes.
Being content with what you have and somehow learning, because I definitely don't know how the answer to that. And that's another discussion for another day. But somehow learning to be content with what you have and where you're at to where you're not unsatisfied, but also knowing where you want to be and working towards that.
Mm-hmm.
That almost sounds like that's what we're circling.
And a lot of I think you're exactly correct. But with that, most of us, guilty of this many times, do not take the time to actually stop and ask ourselves that question.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck somewhere in between, where we're here and we're like, well, this isn't really where I want to be, but it's okay. But we're not really happy with where we're at, but we don't know exactly where it is that we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not really working on getting there. We're just here, and we wish it was different, but we're not. We're kind of in this in between phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just walking. But if you ran to a guy in a field, let's say random field over there, and just ran to it, you see someone out for a stroll. You say, "Hey man, where are you going?" And he says, "I don't know."
Home.
No.
Where's home?
I don't know. See, that's a problem because we need an aim. We truly do, because an aim focuses your eyes.
I think to tie back to where we started this, I think the reason the situation that I brought up to start with was just an example of me being content where I was at.
Mm-hmm. And that's worth fighting for, and that's worth showing up at work tomorrow for the opportunity to do that again.
Yep. Knowing that I had invested the time to have that type of relationship, and then just being happy in the situation that I was in. Just being satisfied. I think now that we've kind of flushed this out, That's, I think, what that was. Or a way to describe it anyway. But I think what's equally as important is maybe having the ambition to know where you want to go and go after it. Because that keeps you on your toes. That gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. Well, thank you. I think you've helped answer this question to some degree. I think there's still a lot to go on it, but I've been thinking about that all week, and I was curious what your response would be.
You have a really good friend over there.
Yes, I do.
Make sure he knows that.
Yep.
Make sure he knows that.
I think he does.